Zwolinsky made that look like it was a textbook swing right there. And a great play by Janae Baker.
And Baker recognizing that those tips are usually taken by the outside, the pin players, the front row pin players. They want to get back and swing. The defensive mindset isn't really there, so she knew to take advantage of that opportunity.
And a free ball for the Raiders. Garrett to Zwolinsky. Great play at the net by the Raiders.
That is a great play. They read that Zwolinsky is having a lot of offensive efficiency on the outside, so they actually cheated, read the block really well, and set up, didn't give her an opportunity to get those shots.
And we've seen several service errors here in this first set by both clubs, but mainly by the Raiders.
And those are points you don't want to give away to Merritt Island because they're going to take advantage, and they go on those 9-point runs. You can't give them any more than they already get.
And Black hits it over. And into the game is Marina Morales.
And just a great swing by Marina Morales. The ball was set a little inside, but she recognized that there was only one block on her, swung really sharp cross court, and found the seam between the right back and the right front.
Coach says Morales is a sweet young lady, but she has to turn her mean on the volleyball court. So back to serve now is Janae Baker. Bauer with the tip over. Baker from the back row.
What an arm swing.
Mansell able to rally it over. And Bauer, and oh my goodness, it almost looked like Martinez was able to dig that out, but it bounces just in front of her.
And you can see why Petkosh is such a player that you want on your court. She sets this whole play up. The rally went on long. She got a perfect pass at that point, allowing Garrett to give Bauer a fantastic set. And Becca Bauer recognized the defense did there and hitting the ball cross court.
And Petkosh with the dive and can't save that one. So 2013. This district battle between Rockledge and number 7 Merritt Island in our BHSN top 10 poll.
Rockledge is doing a really good job of hanging in this match. It's just those errors, those little service errors that are really up to them. They actually be evenly matched at this point, but those service errors are really going to catch up to you in tough matches like this.
They've had 6 so far in this match. Looked like they were undecided, but Petkosh knocks it over. And Glab loses a shoe in the process of that rally.
And that was just a great effort by Rockledge. That second ball wasn't bettered, as we like to say. If the ball's out of system, you want to better that second ball, give your team more opportunity to put the ball back over the net. But the Rockledge Libero really all out on that effort. It's just that it hit the pins at the top of the court.
A little court advantage maybe for the Mustangs.
And there we go again.
And there it goes again. So service ace by Abby Schaefer, the sophomore defensive specialist. And Coach Patrick says she's got great fundamentals, very effective when she gets on the court. So in a timeout for this Class 5A District 14 matchup, Merritt Island Mustangs pretty much have owned Brevard County for a very long time. 8 consecutive district titles. They lost to Jensen Beach last year in the state finals, but they're looking to get back there again.
And they have the team to do it. Yes, they don't have the height, but sometimes that uncommon factor of being short and having kind of something to prove really propels teams to move along. And you'll see it all the time. These big, offensive, powerful teams don't really pass very well. They don't have a lot of emphasis on ball control, but these short teams will come in and just sweep the court with them. And I see a lot of that in Merritt Island. Everybody plays well all the way around. Defensively, passing, the setting is fantastic, and offense as well.
And when you take a look at Becca Bauer, who we featured in the Open, just 5'7", and we asked her, you know, what are your challenges? She says being a short girl in a tall girl sport.
Absolutely, and it's unfortunate that that's how it is because she is such an offensive threat. But there are opportunities for her to play beach and things like that. And apparently, from what I've heard, she's going to play libero, which is huge for her. She's very great on the defensive side of the ball and passing really well. So there are opportunities. You just know deep down she wants to be that big swinger at the next level.
Bauer with the dig there. Zwolinski pushes it over, fielded by Martinez, then Baker. And into the net by Berberet. So it's set point for Merritt Island.
And Merritt Island's doing a really good job. You have to give credit to Anna Garrett. She's spreading the ball all over the court, running 32s with her outside, running on the right side, running on the outside, running the pikes whenever she's in trouble. She's done a really good job controlling and quarterbacking this offense.
Here's Garrett once more, sets it up for Skylar Lears. And that does it for set number one, 25-14. Merritt Island takes it on their home court in this district matchup. We've got more to come from the coast. Stay with us as the Mustangs looking good early. Expecting to maybe see him in the crowd, the quarterback for the Mustangs, a big supporter of girls volleyball, the quarterback here for Merritt Island. And you know, after that last set, it's now 16 straight sets that they have not dropped.
That's
this
incredible.
Regular season.
Yeah, that's incredible, especially early on in the season where you're trying to figure out your little cues, your little nuances with the girls. They're a new team. It's not the exact same team that they had last year. Yeah, there's a lot of return players, but they all separate and then come back together. So it's a struggle trying to find those different things, but they haven't dropped a set since they started the season. That's just phenomenal, and that's a huge credit to Coach Angie Patrick.
The Mustangs are 5-0 this season. Meanwhile, it's plays like that from Anna Garrett and company that helped the Mustangs. Rockledge coming into this match with a 4-2 record.
And Coach Angie Patrick said that Garrett is one of those offensive setters that she hasn't really had in the past. And it's plays like that, tall, athletic, aware offensively, that will make her a fantastic setter as she grows her career.
Garrett once more, Zwolinski with the kill.
And Zwolinski is so quick. That was actually a tempo set, so that ball was a little flat. Didn't have that same height as a normal 4 or an outside set has. But Zwolinski's so fast, and that arm swing is so quick, she's actually beating the Rockledge block before it can even set and get settled.
And is it scary to think, Aaron, that she's just a freshman for this Angie Patrick bunch?
Yes, because she's only going to get better. She's only going to find more shots in her repertoire, build up her tips, build up her vision of the block, and just mix it up all around the court. It is a very scary thought.
Huge offensive threat for the Mustangs. Janae Baker on the other side for the Raiders. And it's Rachel Glab with the block.
And it's those out-of-system plays that show her age a little bit. The ball was off the net. She knew she had 2 blockers, and she goes up there and rips it like she doesn't have any. Those balls, she has to be a little bit smarter. The block's bigger than she is. Swing high hands, find tips, do something different so that she doesn't hit right into that big block.
Glab couldn't get to that one. She already has 2 blocks on the game. The ball seemed to have hit the antenna, so point goes to Rockledge, their first of the second set. And Baker has been quiet, wanting to find a way, if you're Coach Bolton, to get her involved.
Great block. Manziel closing in on that block at the last second. Merritt Island's attack team didn't even see that she was coming in, and she did a really good job of pressing her hands over the net for that block to go straight down.
And once again, we call the name Alyssa Zwolinski.
And it looked like she took a little bit of a slide approach to that ball, but it was a very good adjustment with her feet. She actually cut the ball back line. She was facing cross court, cut the ball back line, and got the kill.
And Coach says this top spin serve is the most effective that she's seen in high school. by Zwolinski. And we'll get to see it once more as she serves it up for the Mustangs.
And again, just like her attack, she goes up there and rips that ball. That's why she'll be so effective on the backcourt too, because she has comfort at the end line to take those big, longer, drawn-out swings versus those short, quick arm swings in the front row.
So Bauer, and just off the hands of Manziel. Second too late. 4 now for Becca Bauer.
And you see the difference between Zwolinski and Bauer. Bauer doesn't get those big kills. She makes those smart kills. They don't necessarily go straight down on the ground, but she will find those little nuances in your block, the errors, the lack of pressing your hands to get kills.
So Zwolinski with the service ace, giving the Mustangs a 4-point advantage here in the second set. Comes right back with service error, but as we've said before, it kind of balances out.
Yeah, when you take those big rips on those top spin serves, 4 in a row is actually a pretty big feat, because typically you tire out a little bit and you get a little uncomfortable, you're in the game, things like that. So you typically expect those to only last 2 to 3 points. She did a really good job on the back line to keep serving tough.
There's Bauer, right between Martinez and Baker.
And that set was actually set inside. Bauer does a really good job of getting her feet to the ball to find that 5-6 seam. Reaches, snaps that hand so fast just to beat the block into that seam.
So Bauer now, third-year captain, and just 6th-year overall being coached by Angie Patrick. Because many times you see, you know, the same young ladies in high school and on the club circuit as well.
Right, and working with the same coach, it helps you because every coach is different. Every coach teaches you the same techniques, but in different ways. So being able to play for her for a longer period of time will only help her get into the Merritt Island Mustang offensive system, defensive system, and understand the process of the coaching mentality.
Bauer once more right down the line. Bauer makes it look easy.
And at that last second, she decides to go back to that 5 seam because she sees the libero cheat in, trying to read a tip or trying to read something that's going to go in the 6 seam, but that's just an experienced hitter seeing what the defense is doing.
So a great return by Sierra Chapman.
And those are those balls you just have to, you serve tough, you have to get right back into your defensive position because it might come right back at you, especially if you serve tough.
Chandler Taft now, the senior in. And another service error for this Raiders team.
And you can see how much steam that just takes out of your engine. They're finally going to get the momentum back, and then it almost deflates you when you get a missed serve like that. And you know, no discredit to her. I'm sure she went up there to rip the ball, but those are those times that you really have to settle in and focus and make sure you get the ball across the net.
And Coach Bolton talked about the inexperience of this team, and he says it sometimes shows, and a lot of times it's dealing with pressure. He says they're missing that leadership.
Great swing by Berberet, just finally turning those shoulders down the line. She didn't have a lot of success with the line shot in the first set, but finding that perfect sweet spot on the court, turning those shoulders, making sure that they were parallel to where she wanted to swing, and she found that deep one seam.
So the senior showing leadership on the court. And Chapman almost just didn't know what to do with that one.
That ball is it's coming so fast at you. And especially when you're down the line, again, the ball doesn't have as much distance to travel, so it's instinctive. If the ball's coming at you fast, it's not going to slow down anytime soon. It's going down the line.
So Garrett and Zwolinski hits it long.
And you can see she has a tough time holding her swing back. She hasn't found that comfortability yet with, I don't know, should I just pop this shot? Should I just use my wrist? Should I drop my elbow? What should I do to make this ball stay in play? And that's something she'll pick up as she goes along and gets throws as a volleyball player. But you can see those things, she looks a little green on that side of the ball. But
well, she can use all of her power right there.
Exactly, and that's what you'd want. That's the hard part to develop in a volleyball match. Someone that just goes up there and swings fearlessly even with the block in front of her, going up there and ripping the ball. It's tougher to teach that than it is to teach those shots. So imagine how much of a player she's going to grow once she develops those different shots and those weapons in her repertoire.
Having been around volleyball for as long as you have, playing at UCF and calling games for Bright House Sports Network, who does she remind you of?
She's got a little Lindsay Owens in her. I think so. I mean, granted, Lindsay's a little taller, and, you know, well, she is a little taller, not was, but she has that same kind of fearless arm swing.